Yeah. Two. Yeah. Aye. I'm jacking the beat, you calling the cops, the yapping is cheap, I call you the ops, the rapping is hating, it's all cause of pop, you get a leak for the ball, get a drop, feel like I'm wrong when I double it back, cause I'm making it harder to catch that, but I covered the ticket, I call you to visit, you tipping and hit up the cash app, baby girl been around for it, yeah, in the old days, I was stuck in old ways, never really trying to flip the old page, young man tripping at an old age, thinking I was flicking, had a low wage, led the bro days, then a slow praise, thinking it'd be different, it would gon' change, then it really didn't, it's a cold game, yeah, ayy, all I really wanted was the money in the pocket, got over money, but the money ain't the topic, like Bill Doe and the money gotta stop it, kid need food and the whip need juice, I'ma get these views when the
Why they party? I'm in here grinding. Money I'm stacking. Why they rock diamonds? I can't relate to them, ain't much in common. I set a goal for 2 or 3 commas. 7 figures, 8 figures to 9 figures. On a slow pace to get rich quick. Same time we just think different. Cause when you make it, it hit different.
What it do, baby? It's your partner Dale back in the saddle again for another edition of the Countermoves Podcast, where we take an issue, whether it be political, economic, or social. We kind of unpack it together, put infused wisdom to that thing, and prescribe our solutions. So, guys, thank you and welcome, and thank you for blessing me with your time. And if you could do me a favor, no matter what platform you're on, share, and hit that like button, guys, so we can actually get the algorithm up, guys, and get this thing shared. Now, this is the one you're going to really want to be able to share, guys. All right, this one here, this hit my desk actually earlier this week, and I was working and I was listening to a podcast. I was kind of listening to see exactly what was going on, and something popped up, and I said, "This is an interesting theory of what was going on." And you know me, I try to look at things differently. I try to look at things in a different manner to where we can kind of look at it from a different perspective, kind of try to balance everything as well. But this was interesting for me to see, and I saw the strategic methodology behind what's going on, guys. So, guys, let's dive into this topic really quickly here, guys. Man, now it's about the 2024 election, the presidential election, guys. And I say this to kind of give a little bit of some steam. The plot to keep the White House. Now, you may be saying, "What do you mean by plot, LaDale?" I'm gonna dive into this, and again, this is all speculative, but I'm going to use actual facts to kind of point you in that direction, right? I'm gonna use facts from the liberal side and facts from the Republican side. And you're going to begin to see what's going to really go, what's kind of really going on. So, hey, guys, let's dive into this real quickly, guys. Man, I noticed something. There's a number of Republican House members that are retiring early. Now, what do you mean by retiring early? Well, typically, if a congressman, and they have the right to do this, right? So it's nothing illegal about this at all. If they're not going to, of course, run for re-election, normally they will announce, say, "I'm not running for re-election," which is fine. And there's no problem with it at all. And they'll say, "Hey, I'm not running at all, and so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to be retiring." And typically they'll just kind of serve out their term. To give you an example, one of on the liberal side, I think Senator Menendez, he's in some legal trouble, but he's going to serve out his term, no problem. And he says he's not going to run for re-election. On the conservative side, you actually had Kevin McCarthy, former Speaker of the House. He actually retired early and said he's not going to run, and he actually left. So it's open seat and having a special election. Typically, when a congressman is retiring, they do one of two things: they will serve out the remainder of the term, right, and not run for re-election. Or number two, what they will do is they will leave early, but leave early enough for there to be hold like a special election. which is not uncommon. You've seen it in Texas, you've seen it in New York, you've seen it in California, you've seen it in a variety of different states. So that's not nothing new at all. But that's how it's normally done. But what I've kind of seen a little bit is on the Republican side. There's been some retiring going on and some abnormal activity afterwards. But let's look at the reporting on the Republicans, House members actually retiring. Here we go. Let's dive in this real quickly.
Another Republican is quitting, and it is now putting the House majority in danger. This is truly fascinating because it is another disaster of their own making. They lost George Santos after he was expelled.
Now, that was a dumb move by the Republicans. Now, I have to say this concerning whether it be on the liberal side and the Republican side, really on the liberal side. From a strategic standpoint, I got to give it to the Democrats. They can strategize. They really can. I mean, how they come together and strategize together, and then the execution of the plan. Whew. I like what you just said when they expelled Joe Santos. Although I don't like what Joe Santos was what he was standing for, from a strategy standpoint, when it comes to a Republican body, that was a bad move by the Republicans. A bad move by them. Bad. But again, when it comes to strategy, the Democrats out-strategize Republicans almost all the time. Let's keep unpacking this. Here we go.
We are seeing individually members of the House resign. And the latest is Republican Mike Gallagher from Wisconsin, chair of the China Select Committee. He is bailing out, quitting on April 19th of this year. When he leaves.
Notice the date, guys. We're going to dive in this a little bit more. The guy talking, he's actually a very staunch Democrat. He's a liberal. He's very smart, very smart. He's right about this being on the Republican side. Yes, it's their fault. But I want you to notice the date that Mike Gallagher. Now, this is the second retiring here recently. Yeah, Ken Buck first, right? And then you also actually have Mike Gallagher, right? It's Michael Mark, one of the two. And he's retiring. Notice the date, April 19th. Remember that date. Okay? Here we go. Let's keep going.
He leaves. This is going to leave House Republicans with a 1-vote margin. Remember, they won the House in 2022.
He's right.
But that slim majority to begin with has been becoming slimmer and slimmer and slimmer. There's going to be a special election for the seat formerly held by Brian Higgins in New York, expected to remain in the hands of Democrats.
Correct.
Gallagher saying he planned to retire at the end of the term, but now he is leaving more quickly. And again, it's a similar situation to others that we've seen. He had discussions with his family, he says. He coordinated with House Republican leadership.
Yeah.
And this is the time that he determined he is going to leave. He was considered a rising star in the Republican Party, declined to run against Senator Tammy Baldwin over on the Senate side. And now we have a situation where it is going to go to 217 for Republicans. Ken Buck, of course, in Colorado, as we discussed last week or the week before, going to be resigning as well. So what is this going to...
So I wanted to bring that on. Again, that is a Democrat talking. He's correctly stating all the facts there. He is. But I want you to notice the dates. Okay? Notice the dates. And again, this is a strategic type of discussion. Typically, with me being in real estate development and finance and public and private equity, there's a lot of strategy going on. That every single deal has its own strategy. Well, this has its own strategy as well. What's the strategy on the Republican side? Okay, because these are Republicans retiring, not Democrats. Republicans are retiring. So my question is why would that actually be? Why is this happening? To me, that's kind of a wise type of question to ask. And number two, why on these specific dates? All right. Now, again, let's go over to the facts real fast. Let's bring in our partner, Dan Bongino. 1 second here. All right. This has been coined his theory, but it's not a theory. He's actually reading the actual reports. So this is not him making this up. He's actually reading reports. So we're gonna begin from here. We're gonna begin at the initial retiring of Ken Buck. Okay, because there's been more retirees, but Kevin McCarthy's here's a special election. Here's a go to a Republican, no problem. George Santos, they lost that to a Democrat. Again, bad strategy on the Republican side. But now you have Ken Buck, right, and Mike Gallagher. Let's walk through this real quickly. This is beginning with Ken Buck. Let's bring in Dan Bongino real quick, and we're going to ask, why is this happening? Logical question. Let's dive into it. Here we go.
Not my theory. It's just something I picked up by reading the newspapers, reading the online outlets.
Correct.
It's not a particularly complicated one either.
Correct.
Why are Republican swamp members of Congress leaving, but leaving at strategic times? The answer is very clear. It's for a number of reasons.
Okay.
And I told you those reasons yesterday. The swamp GOP wants to stop Donald Trump from being president. So they're leaving so they can turn the gavel over to Democrat Hakeem Jeffries. Republicans are doing that? Yes. That's why they're leaving at strategic times, like Mike Gallagher and others, right? And a couple.
Did you just hear what Dan Bongino just said? You have Republicans retiring early strategically, right? To turn over the gavel. Because you just heard, forgive me, I don't know his name, but the previous commentator on the liberal side saying that the Republicans have a 1 vote majority. Terrible strategy by the Republicans. Trash strategy. These guys is morons on strategy, right? I mean, I got to give it to them. The Democrats are amazing at strategy, but that's what's going on. Let's keep going. Let's keep going on this real quickly here, and let's go to a previous one before we go here. I'm gonna bring on DB Dan Bongino, but let's go to a previous one because he unpacks it a little bit initially from Ken Buck. Okay, let's dive in this real quickly. Here we go.
Get to the real meat and potatoes.
Listen to this.
Ladies and gentlemen, is Ken Buck, Republican congressman who resigned suspiciously early, is he involved in a major scandal? Now, Ken Buck has said, not my words, his, that I'm not the only one resigning, that he knows of, he says, 3 other people thinking about leaving.
Uh-oh. So let me get this straight. Ken Buck is retiring strangely early, right? But then he says he's not the only one retiring. There's other ones looking at retiring too. Interesting. Let's keep going. Let's go.
Now, I know he did it to screw over Lauren Boebert, who's a MAGA-type candidate in Colorado. But let me tell you why. Now I'm pretty convinced Ken Buck and others may be involved in an even bigger scandal. Play an intellectual game for me. Remember war games? Tony, remember shall we play? Tony's at my age. He's younger than me, so I can't remember this conversation. Let's play a little game.
Yeah.
What happens if Bobby Kennedy is in the race? And let's say he's pulling double digits.
He is.
Let's say in a state like, say, a Colorado or something. That's a traditionally red, 1 to purple, and is now probably a reasonably solid blue state.
Yeah.
Let's say in Colorado, Bobby Kennedy starts polling around 30%. Now, for liberals out there who are kind of morons, that means there's only, about 70% of the vote up for grabs because 30 minus 100. I know you're confused, but Bobby Kennedy starts polling out 1/3 of the vote. That means Bobby Kennedy could win a state like Colorado.
Yes.
Maybe. I'm not, but it could happen.
It could.
If Bobby Kennedy gets some momentum like Ross Perot does and starts taking away traditionally blue states from Joe Biden.
Sure.
But Donald Trump then doesn't get to 270 either because of the third-party candidacy. Well, what happens if no one gets to 270? Folks, I don't want to, this isn't Charlie Brown Encyclopedia. I know you all are really smart, but to win the presidency, you need 270 electoral votes.
Correct.
Electoral votes are delegated by states.
Yeah.
It's the number of congressmen in the state plus their 2 senators.
Yeah.
You have to get to 270. Therefore, bigger states, obviously with more congressmen, House of Representatives, have more electoral votes.
Correct.
What if Bobby Kennedy were to win California or something like that?
Mm.
What if Bobby Kennedy were to take a couple swing states?
Whoa.
Well, I pulled this article from The Hill, which I don't particularly like The Hill, but this is a decent article by Doug McKinnon.
Sure.
It's from March of this year.
Okay.
And he says, well, what happens if no candidate gets to 270? Say Donald Trump gets to 265.
Yeah.
Bobby Kennedy, whatever, gets 20 or 30, and Joe Biden gets, 240 or something. Does nobody win the presidency? How does that work? Well, here's how it works.
Listen, guys.
If no candidate receives a majority of electoral votes, the presidential election leaves the electoral college process. Oh, it does?
Really?
And moves to Congress.
What you say, Chuck?
Oh. The House of Representatives elects the president.
Yes, they do.
From the 3 presidential candidates who receive the most electoral votes. That would be Trump, Biden, and Bobby Kennedy, if this were to happen. Each state delegation has 1 vote.
Yes.
Every state gets 1 vote.
Yes.
And it's up to the individual states to determine how to vote. A candidate must receive at least 26 votes to be elected. Why 26? Tony, liberals are confused. Because we have 50 states.
Correct.
Liberals still don't get it. That's more than that's 20, half of 50, 25. Folks, I'm sorry. There are liberals watching. Each state gets 1 vote.
Yes.
But it's up to the states to determine how to vote.
Correct.
What does this have to do with Ken Buck? Ladies and gentlemen, if each state does what I think they're going to do and what they've done in the past, where the House of Representatives, the congressmen within the state, say each cast a vote and majority wins. If 3 or 4 congressional members were to leave, that would mean Democrat members of the House of Representatives would be picking the next president if no one gets to 270. Oh, really?
Whoa. Interesting. We're not done, but that's an interesting fact-based hypothesis that could be a real life conclusion. Interesting, right? Man, let's keep going.
Holy shit, that sounds like it could be a major scandal.
So, Ken Buck, what it do, family? Is this the plan, big dog? Sounds interesting, doesn't it? Fact-based, right? Let's grab a cup of coffee. Let's go deeper. What is the potential strategy? Again, this is a Republican strategy in cohorts with the Democrats. You don't believe me? I figured you wouldn't. Don't you worry, baby. Your partner got you. Let's go and bring on my man DB. Bring my man DB again real fast, man. Here is the potential strategy of this. Okay? Listen very closely, guys. Again, this is fact-based. We'll talk about what Ken Buck actually said about more Republicans retiring, right? We're talking about the timing of it as well, because how he did it really from a strategic standpoint, put Lauren Boebert in a bad situation because she's, I think, running for his seat now, and there'll be a special election, which most likely will go to a Republican typically, but you never know. But then she has to run, and not as the incumbent, but she's running to get somebody that's already seated. So I digress, though. Let's go to the potential strategy. Here we go. Let's dive in this real quick. Here we go.
I've been warning you over and over, and hat tip to a bunch of my friends on social media, on podcasts and everything. Yeah. They're calling this the Bongino theory. It's not my theory. Mm-hmm. It's just something I picked up by reading the newspapers, reading the online outlets. It's not a particularly complicated one either. why are Republican swamp members of Congress leaving, but leaving at strategic times? The answer is very clear.
Very clear.
It's for a number of reasons. And I told you those reasons yesterday. The swamp GOP wants to stop Donald Trump from being president.
Interesting.
So they're leaving so they can turn the gavel over to Democrat Hakeem Jeffries. Republicans are doing that? Yes. That's why they're leaving at strategic times, like Mike Gallagher and others. Right?
Mike Gallagher.
And a couple, people have been messaging me, tell Gallagher to stay and all this other stuff. The guy's a phony, a fake, and a fraud. If he wants to be known for that for the rest of his life, then you do what you want. I'm not trying to talk these losers into anything.
Okay.
They want to turn this House over to Speaker Hakeem Jeffries.
Wow.
They want to make sure in a new Congress where there's a Democrat incumbent where they have an advantage that if they pick the president in a three-way race, no one gets to 270, that Speaker Hakeem Jeffries is in charge. That's the second reason. And the third reason swampy Republicans are leaving is so Democrats can pass a bill about insurrectionists to try to prevent Trump from taking a seat in the White House.
Oh, wow.
If that's hard for you to believe that they're trying to turn this over, don't take it from me that this is a possibility.
Show us the facts.
Take it from Chad Pergram.
Oh,
why?
Okay.
He's a straight news reporter.
Okay.
This is not an opinion thing.
Okay.
But his Twitter feed is absolutely gold on
It
this.
is.
Because nobody, I know this guy from Fox. We're not close friends or anything.
Yeah.
Nobody knows more about Congress than this guy. You think I'm making this up, that the House could change hands? He's at Chad Pergram.
Yes, he is.
I strongly encourage you to follow him.
Yeah.
You'll get the straight news on it.
Okay.
He talks about exactly how Speaker Hakeem Jeffries could take the gavel before Election Day, in case you think this is some crazy Dan Bongino thing.
Oh, wow.
He notes there's a special election in New York.
Okay. Yeah.
That Democrats are expected to hold that seat.
Sure.
So that would be a net pickup of one.
Yeah.
That's coming up.
Yeah.
So he says here, that means the House would have 431 members.
Correct.
But 216 Republicans and 214 Democrats.
Math.
Republicans may secure, he notes, a little breathing room after a May 21st California election to succeed Kevin McCarthy. That will likely go the GOP's way. But he notes Fox is told other Republicans are fed up and can leave before the end of Congress.
Other Republicans. Other Republicans, huh? This is a Republican strategy. We're not done, y'all. Let's keep going. Again, facts, data, numbers. Here we go. Let's go right back to it, y'all. Here we go.
Some are just exasperated. Oh, you're exasperated. Keep that up. Keep that up. Tony, some are
Exasperated.
Can you imagine this?
These
You're
guys.
an HVAC guy installing your HVAC system in the 90-degree Florida heat.
Yeah.
And these wuss bag chump losers are, we're exasperated. Shut up. Get your ass, your nuts, your ankles, and your shoulders to work and go to work, you freaking lazy bums. You're exasperated? We're supposed
Yeah, I have to kind of agree with Dan on this one, guys. You're making $200,000 a year and you're tired. And all people do is come through and kiss your behind. But you're tired. I mean, not the plumber, not the carpenter, not the Uber driver, not the banker, not the teacher. Congressman, you're tired. You barely work, right? You work three days a week potentially, and really you're gonna work probably about 4 or 5 months out of the year, and you're tired. Okay. Alrighty. Hey, I understand. I respect it because we got to have someone actually run the government for us. But wow, you're tired? Interesting. Let's keep going, guys. We're not done.
Wait, what? You're exasperated. My mom died last week. I was back to work on Monday. Get your ass to work. He notes others don't want to face reporters peppering them in the halls with questions about President Trump. Oh, horrible job. How do you guys do it? How do you think the local electrician, how do you think he feels? We got a shout out, by the way, for local 98 in Philly. The electricians up there. They reached out to producer. How do you think they feel? the electricians, if they're busting their ass, they got to leave their work boots outside, all the chemicals and shit they're breathing in all day, installing wires and buildings. How do you think they feel? Oh my gosh, I got to take a question in the hallway. I'm leaving my job. I want to say something so bad. Guy said it right. Guy nailed it. He said, surely they're definitely not paid enough for this awful job.
This is,
folks,
boy,
can you imagine how horrible this is?
Easiest
you
job
have
in the
your
world.
ass kicked all day for $200,000, kissed all day for $200,000 a year while
Easiest
people
job
come
in the
up
world.
and, oh, Mrs. Lobbyist so-and-so, can I talk to me? Oh, so horrible. Oh, well, you got to go to a chicken dinner once in a while and give a speech while people kiss your ass. It's so terrible. Again, you think this can't happen? Here's the second part of his tweets.
Listen.
This is, by the way, this
closely.
is 5 tweets and 2 screens. I'm trying to make it easy for you. Because this is why House Democratic Caucus Chairman Pete Aguilar, a Democrat, characterized House Minority Leader Jeffries as the leader of the Congress last week. What?
Wow. So now you actually have this on the Congress side, the Democrat side. They're saying that the majority leader on the Democrat side is the leader of the Congress. Huh. Interesting. Here we go. I mean, you can't make this up, y'all. I'm mentally weak. Republicans mentally weak. No strategy. I mean, this is just.
What? He notes his title may not be Speaker of the House, said Aguilar, but he has the votes and he has the confidence of a significant portion of members. Pergram leaves us with this. But if a few more Republicans step down at this rate, Hakeem Jeffries could be Speaker of the House before it's all over.
He's correct.
Of course, if you're a P1 listener, you knew this 3 weeks ago.
He's correct, guy. He's correct.
But I thought it was a conspiracy theory.
This is, man.
Yes, Chad Pergram, noted conspiracy theorist at Fox.
If this is correct, I'm going to say it with my chest. The Republicans, if this is correct, and Chad Pergram is a pretty upstanding reporter, very good name in that industry, mentally weak. You don't want to take questions concerning Trump, if he wins, of course. You are exasperated for working 5 months a year, 4 days out of the week. And you get paid $200,000, whether you work or not. And you have the best health care in the world. But your job is too hard. Interesting. Let's keep going, guys. Now, I want you guys to see how I believe he's going to go over the Democrat strategize. Watch this. Here we go.
Guy can't play it any straighter. You think it's crazy? They're stepping down to do this to you.
Yes.
Because the job is hard. They have to take questions in the hallway.
Mentally
They're exasperated.
Weak. Yes, sir.
Exasperated.
Weak.
Imagine you, right? You're out there in the winter in Wisconsin campaigning for Mike Gallagher. Wisconsin winners. I'm not from Wisconsin. Anybody in the chat from Wisconsin?
Mm-hmm.
Simple yes will do. Is it cold in the winter?
Sure
Tony,
is.
you ever been to Wisconsin? I've been from Michigan. Is Michigan kind of the same general region? Is it cold in the winter? Yeah, hell yeah. You're knocking on doors to get Mike Gallagher elected, and he's leaving because he's exasperated or he doesn't want to take questions. Or I love the, it's for family. Really, family. Like I said, I just lost my mama. I'm back to work on Monday. Why? Because that's what you do. You go back to work. What's your? I'm just saying. What's your excuse? What's your thing? You realize, Guy, you remember this story from a couple of weeks ago? Who was the guy? Do you remember they wheeled in
Watch the strategy.
for a vote? Folks, you remember this? They wheeled.
Watch the strategy. Look at the strategy. Oh, yeah. Come close to your partner, man. Watch the strategy and execution on the Democrat side. Watch this. This was to vote, right, for impeachment. Watch it. Listen clear. I want you to see the distinct difference between strategy on the liberal side and on the Republican side. You're finna see how execution is key. Watch this.
Wheeled this dude in from the hospital. You remember the story, right? I'm not crazy. They wheeled him in a wheelchair. The dude, they brought him in from the hospital. In a wheelchair. The Democrats to vote. Because why? You don't have to like him.
Yes, sir.
You damn well better respect him.
Better.
Or you will get your ass kicked.
Show enough.
The Democrats will wheel a dude in from the hospital. I think it was Al Green.
Watch this.
For a freaking vote. But Republicans are leaving early.
Yes.
It was Al Green, right?
Al Green. Listen to this. Watch.
Thank you.
Watch this.
Al Green recovering from abdominal surgery.
Yes.
Democrats?
Wheeled him in there. Yes, they did. Watch this in scrubs.
This is what they did.
In
right
scrubs.
In a wheelchair.
In scrubs. Look, in scrubs. You see that?
Rushed the Capitol for impeachment vote in scrubs.
Yes.
In scrubs.
Saving Marcus.
Wussbag, chump, coward, losers.
Oh, no. Look at this. Hospitalized Texas Democrat Al Green rushed to Capitol for impeachment vote in scrubs after abdominal surgery to save Marcus. To save. That's called execution, strategy. Think about the strategy, guys. He's having surgery, so he has to have the surgery in time for the impeachment. So you make sure that the surgery is before the impeachment. He has some recovery time as well. He's still in recovering. They put him in the car while he's in the scrubs, put him in a wheelchair, wheeled him in to save Mayorkas from being impeached. Took him back out and went back to the hospital. Strategy. Mentally tough. As my man Dan Bongino would say, moose nuts. But you have Republicans retiring because they don't want to take questions from reporters. And they're exasperated. Mentally weak. Terrible leadership. Let's keep going, guys. Let's keep going. Almost done.
There's doing on our side. I'm exasperated. I want to take questions in the hallway. Folks, I don't like the Democrats. You better respect them.
You better.
No, you better respect them.
You better. You better respect them.
I mean, yes, it is.
That's balls.
In scrubs,
golly.
You will always lose. You don't. That shit is evil. But make no mistake, you better damn well respect it.
Respect them.
They rolled him in there in scrubs, dude. Scrubs. In a wheelchair.
Yes, sir. And took him back out.
And Mike Gallagher's leaving because they're exasperated. I take questions.
Man, that's wow. Now, I got to give it to the Democrats. Strategy, mental toughness, excellent execution on their plan. That's wow. That's you got to give it to them on that one, guys. Got to give it to them on that one. You got to. Now, is this strategy that can buck, right? As well as Mike got rid of the Republican side, in a little bit of cahoots with the Democrat side. Is it legal or constitutional? Yes and yes. It is legal because it's in the Constitution. We actually read it previously before. So it's legal and it's in the Constitution. It's legal. This is, man, you can't make this up, guys. This is amazing, guys. I gotta give it to them strategy wise. I'll say this here. If the goal is to try to stop Donald Trump at all costs, you got to make sure that from a strategy standpoint, you got to make sure you have this one covered. Is if he doesn't get 270, right? Let's put in place a stopgap to where we have control. We, meaning Democrats, have control of the House, right? Because per the Republican strategy, you flip control of the House over to the Democrats, and now you have Speaker Jeffries, right? And when you don't have a presidential candidate that does not get 270, the House elects them. So what they're doing is legal and constitution because it's in the Constitution. Yes, it is. It's there. So I don't hear nobody talking about this is illegal. No, it's not. It's not illegal. It's unconstitutional. Oh, no, it's not. It is. It is. Man, here's my reaction, guys, on this. If this is correct, and it is correct, so let me start over. It's not if it's correct, it is correct. This is what's actually happening. Because if you look at the dates, I think Mike Gallagher is holding his election. The special election is going to be on April the 19th. Now, why would that be? Right? Because it's in Colorado. He's from Colorado. He's from Colorado. Wisconsin. Want to do Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin actually has a. No, I think they have a Republican. I think they have a Republican governor. I don't know, but he's retiring on the 19th. Now, why is that date so key? Because in order for there to be a special election, it has to be before the first Tuesday in April. Last time I checked, April 19th is not the first Tuesday in April. So therefore, that seat will remain empty until the next election. Therefore, the Republicans lose a seat. And he said also that there may be other Republicans to do the exact same thing. This is a viable plan. And also, what that does is all investigations into Biden, his family, Mayorkas, any of the cabinet will be stopped because you have Speaker Jeffries and he's going to nip that in the bud. And you best believe they're going to begin investigating Trump again on something else. These are the weak-kneed Republicans. I say weak-kneed because that's not a leader. A leader doesn't quit on the constituents that actually sent them to Congress. If he's going to quit, he would do it in a more ethical way, right? To where the citizens could then choose someone else to replace him after his service to them. But when you're retiring purposely after the first Tuesday of April, this is intentional. We know what you're doing. Ken Buck, the exact same thing. He's saying that there's other Republicans that want to do the exact same thing that him and Mike are doing. That's what is going on. That's their strategy. And it's in concert with the Democrat side, too. Interesting. I got to give it to them. Great strategy. Great strategy. On the liberal side, great strategy. On the Republican side, alone, terrible strategy. But in cahoots with the liberal side, good strategy. Sure is. And I gotta say this here: when it comes to strategy, the Democrat side typically outperforms the Republican side almost all the time because they are together. See, whenever someone's asking for your vote, you better begin to ask questions if they're a good leader. Because leaders see the vision to the end. And for what I can see concerning the Republican side, it's lack of leadership in these seats, right? In these seats. And Speaker Johnson, if this is part of the plan, you probably know this as well. I don't know if you do, but if you do, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Again, what is your strategy? That's my reaction, guys. So, what is the counter move, guys? It's very simple. I always say, peep it, sweep it, and then keep that thing. So, this is going to be in the realm of voting, right? Because let's just say, if this does not happen, or it does happen, these two strategies, right? Examine your current situation. We have an election coming up in November for the presidency, seats in Congress, and the Senate, state, county, and municipal, which is local, right? City. Examine your current situation, right? From kitchen table issues. How's your current situation? How's the state of the economy, state of the country, safety, cost of goods and services? How is that reflecting? Does that benefit you or hinder you? Are you getting a pay raise? Is your pay raise outpacing inflation? Right? Do you feel safe and secure in your neighborhoods? How's the political climate? Only person asking the question is you. Examine your current situation. Disregard the noise of both sides, and you ask your question. Ask the question to yourself: does this current situation benefit me or hinder me? Right? Right? Now, once you answer that question, what is your strategy moving forward? If the answer is no, how are you position yourself personally? And also, how are you voting in these elections, whether it be municipal, county, state, or federal? How are you voting? How are you strategizing? How are you strategizing from a business standpoint, economically, teaching standpoint when it comes to your kids? Because now you have education involved with this, right? What's your strategy moving forward? If you're liking it, keep doing what you do. If you don't, what strategy moving forward? Right? And then lastly, guys, I always end with this. Start thinking generationally, economically, education, and politically. Let me say it again. Start thinking generationally, economically, educationally, and politically. Right? Because a wise man plans for 3 generations. 3. If you're planning just for you, your plan is going to end when you die. You have effectively failed. If you're okay with that, be okay with failing then. I always say this: the wealthiest place in the world is the graveyard. Why? There's so much potential wealth that died there. Don't be the one that's so selfish and thinks about your own self that you negate the world to be blessed with your gift and talents. So I'm thinking generationally, economically, educationally, and politically. So therefore, let's stick on the political side real quickly here. Right? If that is the case, guys, I said politically because you need to begin to ask more pressing questions. Read bills. Stop listening to the spin. Vet me. Vet anybody that is giving you counsel. Vet them. Make sure that what I'm sharing to you is actually accurate. I love the independent journalists because they seem to be the unbiased one. But I still vet them. Right? Begin to think that way, if that makes some sense. Right? And I always say this here when it comes from an economic standpoint. It's time to turn your side hustle into an enterprise. Begin listening to people like Patrick Bet-David, Les Brown, myself, LaDale Buggs, Matt Zapala, Brian Adamson, Vusi Thembuku. Who else can I give you guys? John Maxwell, Dan Martell, Mark Moss, people like that, to retrain your mind so that you can begin to turn your side hustle into an enterprise. When you begin thinking from an enterprise standpoint, it will bleed into every area of your life. Again, we're thinking generationally, economically, educationally, and politically. All right, guys? Well, guys, man, give me your thoughts. Let me know what you think about it, man. Am I off base? Am I on base? Let me know, guys. This is one of those little deep ones. Typically, I'm kind of turned up a little bit, but I had to kind of calm my nerves down a little bit so that I speak clearly and succinctly to you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this, guys. Every Friday, guys, we have Real Estate Friday training with Cliff and I at 5 p.m. on every single platform, guys. And what we do is we take an issue, unpack it together. Then what we tell you to do is we then give you a strategy that you can actually implement at a time frame. You can make 5, 10, 20 grand in real estate investing. Also, we talk a lot of economic as well when it comes to what's going on in the current marketplace. All right. And lastly, guys, we have a sponsorship for disclosure. I'm an investor and partner in this firm. American Rounds is the first AI-powered ammo vending machine at your grocery store. And guys, we are blowing up like crazy. This AI thing, man, is just kind of taken off. I believe AI is going to create some jobs and also replace a lot of jobs. It's up to you to reinvent yourself. But let's just say they sponsored the show, man. Let's dive into it real fast. Here we go.
CEO of American Rounds. We are in Pell City, Alabama at Fresh Value grocery store installing the first ever automated retail machine for ammunition. The stores were really the inspiration for it. I mean, they knew their customer base and they came to us and thought this would be a really good opportunity for their customer base. There's a lot of hunting community here in Pell City and thought that their customers would love an opportunity to be able to buy ammunition here at the store.
We're super excited to offer, what we think is the first ammo kiosk. We're always looking for ways to give our customer another reason to come visit our stores. Anything that we can do to help them make their shopping trips easier based on the feedback that we've gotten just from customers today. They are so excited about us having the ammo kiosk.
We're getting ammo!
One of the ways we're changing the landscape of ammunition sales is to make it more available. Being able to move into a place like a grocery store, supermarket makes it a lot more available to the public. But we're taking a different approach to it. Traditionally, ammunition is sold at outdoor type stores, your sporting goods stores, and it just sits on a shelf. It's very accessible. Because of that, there's a high rate of theft. But with our machines, as you can see here, we have a very secure automated retail machine. We're able to age verify. We scan a driver's license and then takes 360 facial recognition for the purchase and matches it to the ID. So the machines really provide an opportunity for safe, affordable, and available ammunition sales.
There is no doubt that foot traffic will increase based on the feedback that we've gotten. And again, we're super excited not only to have it here, but in other locations in Fresh Value as well.
We're really excited about where we're going. We are going to continue to expand here in Alabama. We have a machine slated to go into Oklahoma, Louisiana, Texas. So over the next year, we're looking forward to, seeing these roll out all throughout the South and the Southeast.
All right, guys, it's American Rounds. Guys, American Rounds. Go to all platforms. Just put in American Rounds. You'll find it, or you can go to AmericanRounds.com. We will be in probably about 60 stores by the end of this year. We go to 300 plus stores by next year, guys. And there's some exciting stuff going on with American Rounds, guys. So it's expanding tremendously. But guys, man, thank you so much for your time. God bless you. Again, I want to share with you guys tomorrow at 5 p.m. Cliff and I will be doing Real Estate Friday training, guys, at 5 on all platforms. Come kick it with your partner, Cliff. Come learn something with your partner. And, of course, I'll be looking fresh, cold, clean in my ice cold grip. So, guys, thank you so much for your time. God bless you. You know how I say it every single time, guys. Before you leave and while you can, you see that thing, baby. Take that damn picture. and give it to your mom and them and say it with your chest and holler at your partner. God bless you guys. See you next week. Peace.